All right, welcome everyone to the Intellias Payables Management product launch. Today we're going to go over the product, do a demonstration, but before we get started with that, I want to talk a little bit about Intellias for those of you that have not heard of us. Intellias, we're an Infr Alliance partner, part of the partner network that they've just changed. We were established in 1999. I'm the president, and we have been in that space for, I think we're at 27 years now. We have a services organization that focuses on all assets or all the things of services, cloud migrations, system assessments, optimizations, upgrades. You can see from the screen, we're pretty much, and we're also experts in all the different suites. So for those of you that are using our services, we thank you. For those that are not, we have an incredible expert team, and we can address all the services needs. In addition to Intellias, we also have software, and that's kind of where I have been for the last 27 years, developing with my team all sorts of products. And today, again, we're going to be talking about the new product that we have, Payables Management. I'm really excited about it because I think it addresses so many needs out there in the marketplace. We also, for those that have not heard of us, also have other products out there in the marketplace, job automation, expense management, and time management. And those are all catered to the Infr systems, both on S3 and then also in the cloud. So what is really the payables challenge? Really what we've seen in the marketplace is manual invoice entry is very slow and is very error prone. You get these invoices from vendors via email in all sorts of different formats, and the AP team spends all sorts of time chasing approvals, entering the invoices into the Infr system, limited visibility on the invoice statuses from a vendor standpoint. And a lot of the AP automation solutions out there are very costly. And we've also found that the technologies for these AP automations using Textract is somewhat unreliable. We know this because our first version of our payable management was using Textract as a technology, and we found that it wasn't very reliable in scanning or doing the OCR of the invoices. And so with the invention of AI, it has really revolutionized this type of product. And that's what we're so excited about showing. So with the product, we've created basically a modern SaaS application for Infr clients, for the Infr Cloud clients. This product is really only used for Infr Cloud, not in the S3 on-premise solutions. So, and what it does, it captures the invoices from vendors via email. So your vendors will be able to send the invoices PDF to an email address, and our product uses AI, and it scans the invoice and basically preloads them into a pre-approver table, pre-approver staging area for your AP personnel to be able to approve. We also have the ability to do a bulk upload, so your AP personnel can actually upload from a zip file or multiple invoices at one time into our web GUI, and it will then interface into the Infr FSM system. Again, it uses all AI for OCR. It also uses AI for vendor inquiries and then also for the bulk upload. So again, complete AI-driven type of solution. And again, pre-staging all the invoices for approval. Once the approvals take place, those invoices are loaded into the Infor FSM, into the DII document interface. And I'll show you that in just a minute in the demonstration. So again, how it works. Vendors, two different ways that invoices are entered into the system. One is vendors email the invoices to a designated email address, or AP can upload the invoices into the web interface. Again, AI is going to do OCR extraction of the invoice and put it into the tables. AP can then review those, from the web AP, from the web interface and approve them. And then those, once approved, are posted into the Infor FSM DII. And then again, invoices are paid on schedule, which is one of the huge benefits of the product, making a very happy vendor, for your vendors to be happy about getting paid on time. Again, key features: email-based invoice intake, or you got your bulk invoice upload, AI-powered. It has configurable approval workflows, real-time invoice visibility from both the vendor and then also the AP. We also have a custom report writer embedded into the application. And then we have an AI assist agent that allows for AP to basically ask the AI agent all sorts of questions regarding the invoices in the system. So we'll again show that demonstration just shortly. Highlighting the AI-powered AP assist agent, you can query invoices just using your natural language to quickly find them by vendor, amount, status, and again, reduce your time spent searching and reporting. So vendors, another huge benefit is vendors can now email basically an email address for invoice inquiry. It's locked down to the incoming the from address of the email is locked down on the actual vendor, so the vendor can only ask again questions about their invoices, and then it will automatically, the AI agent will look at the email and then respond with the statuses of those invoices. And again, that greatly reduces your AP inbox volume and vendor inquiries. The application is designed for the Infor FSM, seamless integration. So, and you don't need to change anything downstream for the payment process, because we are going to get the invoices into the document invoice interface, of which then you can approve those or bring those invoices into the actual system to actually approve them and payment. Again, it's a secure browser-based SaaS solution, and of course is built by us as an Infor Alliance partner. Some of the business benefits, again, reducing the manual workload of keying invoices by 95%. So no more keying of invoices. You can reduce the AP processing time about 80%, improve your data accuracy. So you'll have great data accuracy for all those invoices going into the system in compliance. And it's a significantly lower cost versus competing AP solutions. And you're going to get an improvement on your vendor satisfaction. Your vendors are going to get ability to get their status of their invoices just by sending an email. No more need to actually send, try to send an email to an AP personnel and wait 3-4 days for a response. And again, why is this product important from us? And again, we've been developing software solutions for the Lawson Infor ecosystem since 1999. We have a real deep expertise in FSM, and it's all built on the AWS platform. And we got proven results from all of our Infor customers for all of our other products. So it's a good reason why to use Intellias. So today now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a live demonstration, and then if you're interested, learn about the early adopter program. So I'm going to show right here, pull this over, go to a URL, log in as an AP person. All right, and so you have on the Payables Management application, you have your overview. So it has basically a bunch of KPIs, and this is all configurable per client. Important information from a header level, duplicate invoices, approval bottlenecks, top spending departments, aging reports, total amounts that are in the system. You can drill into these, and so forth. Then we have our inbox. Our inbox is where it shows all of the invoices that are in the system ready for approval. if you click on any of these, you can see that we will preload them. And you can see both the, I'm going to shrink down the screen just a little bit. There we go. You can see the invoices in the system. You can also see the fields that were brought in from that OCR, that AI OCR. And then also what we're doing is we're bringing in the finance dimensions from the tenant, and allows for, if you want, you can select any of the dimensions, and these will be interfaced into DII. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually send an invoice into the system now. So designated invoice to address, and then we're going to go ahead and grab an invoice. Medline, and hit send. So I'm acting as a vendor right now from my inbox, my email inbox. And that takes a few seconds to actually load in the system. As we're doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some other features of the application. So let's just show on the inbox, you can see we're loading the financial distributions. So I'm going to use Amazon here. We'll go ahead and select some of the accounts. So those dimensions, go ahead and hit save. Now, that's saved as just data entry prior to the approval, okay? While I was doing that, you could see this invoice came back as processed. So it sends an email back to the person that sent the invoice, and that was this Medline invoice was sent into the system. What we do once the invoice is sent in, it takes the vendor name. It takes the vendor name, and then it matches it against the Infor FSM vendor ID, puts that in place, grabs any of the PO information. You can see how that was all extracted. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go and add the dimensions for this one as well. Hit save. And those look good. So let's go ahead, and at this point, you can see these are the invoices. I'm going to go ahead as an AP personnel saying, okay, let's go ahead and approve this invoice. So I'm going to go ahead and approve. And you can see that that invoice has now disappeared from the inbox. I'm going to go ahead with this Medline as well and hit approve. And you can see that one is gone as well. So what I'm going to show now is that we're going to go into, I'm going to bring this is the tenant, and we're going to go in here and see these invoices as they were interfaced into the system. So I'm under FSM, payables, interfaces, then I'm going to go, Hourglass. All right. Try that again. Invoices. And you can see these are the two invoices that were added to the system. I can drill in here. You can see that that information was interfaced, the vendor group, vendor number, amount, all that was brought into the DII, and now it's ready to be, you can now interface this invoice to move it along for payment. Let's go back. Same with this one. This was invoice number 4. You can open up Infor Document Management. You can see that was the invoice. We brought it into FSM, into the Infor Document Management. Again, bringing it in both the Infor Document Management and also DII. And again, this one's ready to be interfaced as well. So again, very easy from an AP standpoint to get invoices from inbox, all the way from an email inbox and approved into FSM. You can see the distributions were also added to the system from our payable management. You don't have to do that, but we do give the opportunity for AP to actually enter the financial dimensions against those invoices at the pre-staging level. All right, some other features of the product. We have upload. So as an AP personnel, like you might get an email from a vendor that has a bunch of invoices. And so what we do here, I'm going to go ahead. You can see this is I got a bunch of invoices in this zip file, so I can basically bring this in and I drop this right into here. And you can see these are the invoices that are being processed right now. So you can see the data coming back from the extracted fields. AI brings back its comments regarding those on each one. And then we also have a percent match as well. So you can see the 100% and so forth for approval. So you can see everything looks good. I'm going to put my email in here as an approver. Hit submit. And so now all of these invoices are now loaded. You can see they're all going with a checkbox. They're all being loaded into the inbox right here. So if I select inbox now, oh, got a little blip. Can you guys still, Chandra, can you see my screen? You're on mute.
Oh, sorry, yes, we can still see your screen.
Okay, great. All right, so now all of those invoices have been loaded into the system from the upload and on the pre-staging table. And then as an AP person, you can go through Home Depot or Office Depot. We already have the vendor matches. So as those are brought into the inbox, they're matched against the vendor, the vendor's name, and then that's loaded, and then whatever else. And then again, you can modify any of these fields. You can add any dimensions, you can save it, and then you can approve it, and those are brought into DII. You can also see that we will check the system as the invoice is brought in. We will check it against Infor FSM to see if it's a duplicate. And you can see we got dupe right there, so that has been a duplicate invoice that was added to the system. So at this point, AP person could say, all right, that doesn't look good. I'm going to reject it, save, and you can see that this one's going to disappear. So that one disappeared. All right. Some other features of the product. Again, that upload feature is just tremendous time saver, especially when you have when you have a bunch of invoices in the system or being sent to you and you want to zip those up and upload them. Great time savings for that one. We have a search functionality. So you can see here, I could do whatever searches in the system, and it's going to bring up those invoices into the system. One of my favorite features, again, is the assistance. This is using AI. So let's just do some, I'm going to add some, and let's see, let's go. Let's see. show me all invoices for today. And it'll bring back all the invoices for today. Some other ones you could say, some more advanced AI agent calls. You could say it might take a little bit more longer to do this. Percentage change invoices for the first and last week of December. So it's going to bring in how much was the decrease, give you a chart, and so forth. So this is what's really exciting, an ability to use AI to ask it so many questions that you might spend hours and hours trying to figure out. You can just use the AI agent to get those answers for you. Really exciting stuff. We also use all sorts of AI LLMs. You can see here, you can do a drop down and select the different LLMs that we are using. And if you have more questions about the LLM languages, we also have one of my experts on the line, Brandon Ty. We can answer any of those questions as well. Let's see, the report functionality. So under the report functionality, you can create your own custom reports. So let's just say that I hit create. So again, I'm going to load the financial dimensions. In here, you're going to be able to select, your headers, if you want to, processing metrics, what dimensions, and then you can basically create your own SQL. So with this basically SQL writer right here. And then what you can do, you can export the actual, you can see right here, we got Infor DI sync only. So this is going to check to see if the status was synced or not. If I unselect that, the status is not there. And then the output for this can be Excel, PDF, or a CSV. You can run it immediately. You can run it on a schedule. You can send it to whatever email address you want. All that functionality within the custom report writer. Let's go back to the reports. I'll just go ahead and load existing reports in the system. So I did a quick report. I wanted all Dell invoices. So you can see this is the report that was created. I could run the report. Oh, I got to wait till that. All right, I can run the report. And it's going to pull back all the invoices from Dell in the system. It also attaches our AI agent, so we can analyze the data on the left with whatever we want. You can ask it whatever you want with this set or this data set. And then we also have a bunch of canned reports as well, invoice summaries, interface, age analysis, distributions, vendors. So those are just canned invoices as well, or canned reports as well. Also, we have a security module that allows you to lock down at the AP actor level what they are able to see from these specific bookmarks. So we have some security regarding that, and that is how easy payable management could be in your organization. All right, so we have let's see if we have some questions.
We've got a lot of questions. Yep.
Awesome.
The first one,
hey,
did your...
Chandra, will you unmute Brandon? He might be also involved in answering questions. So.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
There he is. Okay, great. So our first question is, and this came in when you were doing your first example. So did your example add DII detail lines or only header data on the details tab?
Let's see. So we don't bring in the detail level of the actual invoice, the detail lines. That is really, right now, we're only bringing in the header, the PO, the invoice amounts, and attaching the info, the document management. information. If that is something of a need for you, we can absolutely do that. It does take a little bit more OCR analysis to do the detail level and specific for the organization.
So Chad, if I could add just a little bit to that,
Yeah.
one of the things you'll find, any of you that are using DII with purchase orders, it is very difficult to get the details from the invoices in a way that can be attached to the lines. So one of the things I would recommend, and we've done with several clients, using DII, not particularly with the payables management, but the standard out of the box, is to have them start working with their vendors and identifying the lines on a purchase order that can then easily be brought in and matched up. And then you can also use the auto match processing within the system once that's completed. But it is going to take some effort on your part as well as working individually with your vendors.
Right, great. And then we had a question, where is the PO recorded?
So the PO recorded, we bring in the PO here, and then we also write it into the PO line inside of DII. So
Are non-PO approvals managed in this system or in Infr?
we have left the whole PO approval for everything done inside Infr because you can actually configure that. So Debbie, do you want to go into a little details on that, why we decided not to do PO approvals inside our app?
Yeah, so because most organizations will build that structure and the out-of-the-box abilities within FSM work pretty well. And I also see some comments here that PO invoices would not need approvals, but many organizations do a high-level approval on purchase orders as well, just to verify goods and services received. So once these invoices come in, then they could flow and hit the appropriate approval codes or routing rules that you have set up. So that was the determination around not doing approvals within this. It gives the option for the client to do it within FSM.
Great. All right, another question, I guess, for vendors with multiple remit to locations, how does the product select the remit to location? So I don't think we're addressing multiple remit to locations at this point. It is in our future releases that we would be addressing that. So really just one vendor, one address. All right, so, okay, so I'm gonna jump down. Diane asked a question, correct, but the invoices, Deb, did you see that? Correct, but the invoices displaying have POs and bypass using them. What is that? I don't know if we want to.
I'm not sure I understand that question. So the purchase orders, the invoices she was seeing have POs. Diane, correct me if I'm wrong. The invoices display a PO, but you're bypass using them. So the number is actually going to go into DII. At that point, you have the ability to do one of two things. You can create the detail records within DII or have them come in and then the processors would add those detail records within the AP or the payables module itself, at which point you could match. And then, of course, it would create, buyer message or cost messages, etc., things along those lines. Is that what you meant, Diane?
Is a note that says you entered invoices as a non-PO when PO
When
is
the
displayed?
PO was displayed. I didn't see that. I thought I saw the PO number come across, but we can double check that. It may just not have been entered in the examples that Chad was noting. Yeah.
They are indeed coming over. So
yeah,
and maybe I don't know. We'll have to double check that. But yes, the objective is for the PO number to be inputted into DII, just like the vendor number and everything else. All right, another question: can we do auto approving? So yes, we got this auto approve functionality that you can actually set upon a vendor, and you can set it to true, and then it'll automatically go into the Infr system without a person touching it. So, All right. Another couple questions here. Can you do the credit invoice and catch or match up with the original invoice that they even out this amount of invoice? It's from a Jenny Chen. Hey Deb, I don't think our application is not going to do that from
No,
the payables
and
management, but you can do that
that is
inside
correct.
Infor FSM.
That's correct, because it have no way of actually being able to do that. And you're going to find, Jenny, I'm sure you know that many vendors, when they do send credits in, don't always put the purchase order on that uh, credit invoice, or you find that credits that have been taken internally get processed, etc. So I think it's really better practice to manage those separately so that you are matching up the correct credits with the correct invoices.
All right. And then Petra asked, the original question was regarding invoices without POs. So, I mean, the whole PO process, we're just bringing the POs into DII. So it's with or without POs. We can actually configure the system per tenant to not even allow for invoices to go into the DII without a PO. So we can actually configure that, or we can just make it that it's an optional field before it's interfaced into DII. Beyond PO matching, that's all done within Infor FSM. So.
Yep. And there are organizations, I don't know if this pertains to any of you, that actually will manage their purchase orders in a third-party system and don't do any matching within FSM. If that's the case, I still recommend that, you're recording that purchase order on the invoice, but it does not mean you have to add the details and do the match within FSM. So that's also another alternative if that's how you're handling them. And Petra, going back, looking at your original question around the non-PO approvals managed in the system, again, that's something you'd want to manage within FSM and not within this application. And let's see. There's a couple more, Mr. Mitchell.
Yeah, so Ramesh, you're asking who's our target customers. It's those that are currently handling invoices manually without any OCR. Or even if you're using a current AP solution that doesn't address capabilities that we currently have. We've seen a lot of the current products that are out there in the marketplace using Textract. It's not using AI, so the reliability is a lot less. And so by moving to a completely AI-generated solution, we've seen, our OCR recognition of the invoice go up to almost 99%. So another question, Jenny Chen, do you have a list of shortcuts on how to navigate the Infor manage invoices? I'm not sure I understand that question. Deb, do you understand that question?
I do not. I'm sorry. Are you referring to how to navigate within DII, the document invoice interface portion of this, Jenny?
All right. Well, we'll wait for her to answer that one.
No problem. I think also Ramesh asked around comparing this tool against FSOF or Infor OCR capabilities. So the Infor OCR capabilities are still rather new. I don't know, Rob Flannery can probably address it. It is an expensive tool. I think once they get, as you well know, any Infor application takes a while to get out of it. It's all going to be around your volumes, what you're doing, etc. I myself am not a huge FSOF fan, but I think that you'll find that this tool that Chad has managed is going to be very easy and user friendly and could be of great value to those of you that have a fairly straightforward and a lot of issues with trying to do OCR capabilities. What I like most about this is the ability to be able to manage and sort of validate the invoices in in the initial step, with also it being able to check for duplicates, with it being able to provide information back to a vendor on what payment status is and et cetera. And those are some of the things you're not going to get from some of these other tools.
Also, our implementation is, I would say it's probably 1 to 2 weeks or even less than that. We can stand up tenants very, very quickly. So, and with that implementation being so, not very long, you get a really good pricing on the SaaS modeling for us. So, and we also, if you're interested in getting more information, we have early adopter pricing for this product, and you can get more information from, if you want, send an email to info, and we can talk to you more about that.